Awesome. Yo, welcome to the Spaceless Realms Podcast, everyone. Today, I'm here with Kalki, my brother over here, and today we will be speaking about love and everything that love can entail for us beings to evolve and transform us. You know, ever since we first came into the world, we were shown love by our mother through us being able to come into this world. Love brought us into this world. So love must be the secret key to unlocking this existence. Because without love, there really is not much there. So, Kalki, let's just dive into it.
That's a beautiful way to start the podcast, to be honest, because I truly believe in that. I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm an unconditional lover. I'm a warrior as well, but I believe there needs to be a balance in there. And
Yeah.
even to those of you who were born in life, well, I was told that I wasn't wanted when I was born. And even then, I feel like I have a supreme purpose to be here on this earth because I found out my purpose outside of my parents' purpose, outside of what they wished for me and outside of what they didn't wish for me. Because at the end of the day, you have to realize we have star parents, we have physical parents, we have emotional parents, we have like a number of different relatives, we have family. They say there's an African proverb from a long time ago that say, and please forgive me if I'm not quoting it accurately, but in a mistranslation, in that sense, in a generalized term, you could say, they say it takes a whole village to raise a child. And I believe in that. I believe that it's not just one family, one set of parents that are raising the children. At the end of the day, the youth, which I don't even believe should be called children because of the word childish being derogatory. I mean, the youth are the future. It's very simple. So at the end of the day, if you don't have love in your life, and this is something I've discovered when I was living off grid, and it's been about 4.5, 5 years now for me living on and off grid, most of the time off grid. And I still have internet connection in a limited sense, like off of an old phone line from 1870 or 1890. But at the end of the day, I live mostly within nature. And I realize that you have to have love for yourself. You have to have love for who you are in order to be able to love other people in a healthy fashion, because otherwise you become codependent, you become dependent on their affection, you become, you know, correlationally or oppositely dependent on them, needing your affection, on you giving affection to them to validate them if they don't feel healthy enough in who they are. And then they have to validate you in feeling healthy, even though you don't feel healthy enough in who you are. So I understand now. It took me, I would say, 38 years in my life to realize how true love has to be self-love in the beginning to be healthy. But that doesn't mean if you're not healthily loving yourself that you can't love someone else. It just means that it's hard for them to correlate that to true love. If you don't believe in loving yourself, and if other people try to love you, but you don't love yourself, or if you try to love others, but they don't love themselves, it's a much more difficult process. But I've learned in the process of that.
Mm. I want to talk about why do people say that they're going to do something or that they say that they feel a certain way, but then when the time comes to actually acknowledge those feelings, then it's just um it's just ghostly. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I could say, like, I can't say I've been in that
Like
position
like
myself doing that to other people, because
people can say so much, but then they don't speak for their words. You know, actions don't speak for their words.
that's why they
Yeah.
say in hip hop, they say word is bond.
Words bond.
Like a word is a bond. Like it's, some people have misinterpreted as word is born, but word is born as well. As soon as the word is born, you know that you have to honor that syllable, otherwise it becomes a lie.
Mm,
So to me, it's extremely important to have one word, even to people that have done really, really wrong to me, that have deceived me, betrayed me, mistrusted me in many senses, or misinterpreted me. If I told them one day that I would do something before they betrayed me, before they did anything else, I try to honor that to the most of my abilities. But at the end of the day, if Akasha, or if the cosmic forces around me, if the goddess, if the primordial cosmos, if the Nijeru assembly, if the totem assembly, if the star kin, the star peoples, the intergalactic tribes don't want to honor what I'm trying to honor for them, then I tell myself there must be something wrong. I must be trying to honor the wrong person and wasting my time. I think one of the biggest problems in love these days is that we try to honor our promises for people that have already betrayed us, but then we don't spend enough time honoring the people that have always honored us no matter what, that never have, because we think it's almost like this, decolonization process is going on in our minds, where we're trying to help other people who we think need it more. Like I've seen many, I don't want to be stereotypical, and it's not a bad statement, but I've seen many women in my life try to focus on men that they thought had problems that they wanted to fix. And I'm like, that's great. That's an amazing, amazing project. It's like looking at a broken down barn that you're like, but the structure is still stable. I could do something with this. But wouldn't you rather see a being that's living in a mythological castle that's already there, that's fully there, that's there? And I get that it's extremely rare to find a person who's got all their shit together. Nobody really does. But at the end of the day, I get it. I have so much compassion and love and empathy for my sister and for my brethren, for my kindred, who are trying to fix people out there that are broken, that they look at, especially in the patriarchy. And I'm talking about men in general that need to be fixed, that need to be brought back to their true path, that need to be brought back to the goddess, that need to be brought back to the oracles, to respecting all of sentient beings. But I feel like a lot of us are stuck in this trap of trying to help people that are in need of assistance, that are usually tricking us into giving them more help than what they need. And then it's distracting us from giving help to the people that are so honorable, so prideful in a healthy sense, that they don't even want to tell us what's going wrong with them. And when we ask them what's going on with you, they're like, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm great. And then we don't talk for months or for years sometimes, but we forget that those are the people who actually need our assistance, and we need their assistance too in order to be who we are. So we gravitate around a lot of toxic or semi-toxic people, thinking we can make their lives better, but then we forget our truest and closest kindred.
You kind of forget about yourself too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And that's the point with psychic vampires. They drain you so badly, you forget you're losing your life in the process. And they're like, but you're not making me better. And you're like, I'm going to try harder. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I don't mean women in there. There's no gender to that concept. What I'm saying is anyone in general, whether it be a friend, an acquaintance, a lover, someone, whatever gender you might be in, just remember, some people, they are like psychic vampires in this society. They function like the world banking economy. They try to drain you of all your resources and get a lot more out of what you're giving them than what they're giving back to you. And they try to give minimal effort. And that at this point, we should drop the political correctness, stop trying to be polite towards everyone and be like, oh, but they didn't really do anything wrong. But psychic abuse is real. If someone is always polite with you, but you feel like they're draining your energy, trust your intuition, trust your prescience, trust your feelings, trust your gut feeling, and tell yourself, this person, even if they never said anything wrong to me, is definitely draining my energy. I feel tired. I feel sick when I'm around them. They don't look like I could trust them. The eyes are a window to the soul. If you look someone in the eyes and you don't feel like you could trust them, something is wrong. But then if you look in the mirror and you don't feel like you could trust yourself, something is wrong too.
That's spot on. Definitely. Yeah, man. Whenever we stop talking, bro, I miss you so much. I miss you so much.
No, for real. I feel like this gives a great purpose. I told Yasmin the same thing the other day. And I was like, this gives like the ultimate purpose to my life. It makes me feel like I'm alive when I do these interviews, these podcasts. So because we're both like talking to each other. It's not even an interview. It's not a podcast. It's not, you can't put a label to it. But at the end of the day, what we're doing keeps me alive. Making music today kept me alive. Making music for Yasmin, making music for myself, making music for the world kept me alive. And I'm so glad to be back in my house. I'm back in my lodge, live at the Métis Lodge. And I'm like, this is amazing. I just wish that I had more people to share this wealth and abundance with. I wish that more people, and then my brethren, Pahana, that I was talking about the other day, the scientist that I mentioned in the water treatment specialist that was working, who's like a kindred to all Hopi and all indigenous peoples. He's coming over to visit in like a week. And he's going to come chill here for like a month before he goes out to India and goes and meditates in a Tibetan monastery. So I'm like, this is wonderful. It's a great transition lodge to come and spend some time to deconnect, be off grid. But it's a pleasure because he's going to bring a bunch of equipment. He's going to bring some stereo equipment, some recording equipment, some beat making equipment. And I feel like that's the true purpose of life, is sharing with community. Love is not just, in French, there's not as much of a distinction between friendship and love as there is in English. When you say I love someone in French, or I love this, I like this, and I love this in French is the same term. You don't say I like this, you say I love this. But it could be loving something in a concept that's non-emotionally intimately attached, or it could be something that's very complex. But I love that about romantic languages, because there's no distinction between friendships and relationships in the primordial etymological sense that defines reality. And to me, that's quintessential, because I love being around people. I really appreciate being around people who love me in whatever sense that may be. Even if I'm not attracted in the same exact sense as they are, it's a huge compliment to me to be around their presence, because their energy shifts me and makes me a better person. But there's an etiquette, there's a moral, there's a rule around that. Like you said in the beginning, there's a certain set of rules you don't want to breach. If you're in love, you're in love. When I'm in love, I only love a single person. That's it. That's all I can care about. That's the only person I can think of, to the point where I neglect my friends oftentimes, and I end up being recluse and being like a hermit, and I lock myself up. But then if that person doesn't want that, I'll shift around and be the exact opposite. If they want to be really free and really roaming around, and they're always free, like regardless, when you love someone unconditionally, unconditional love should be, the quintessential essence of existence. But that being said, if you really truly love someone, you have to learn to let them go in order for that love to manifest itself the way that it's meant to. If you're holding on to someone and you try to clutch onto that relationship or that friendship, and you're insisting on making it happen, which is something I had to learn the hard way a lot of my life, you're not going to ever get that true unconditional love. Unconditional love has to be reciprocal. It has to be harmonious. It has to be, it has to be in balance, in equilibrium with all of existence. Otherwise, if you give too much, they give too much, something's going to be disbalanced.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. It's like an art to be mastered. Okay. I'm going to pull a tarot card.
Yo, let's do it.
Actually, what's funny is that this card just popped out of the deck. It's wait, the three.
It's a giant heart.
Yeah, the 3 of Swords, and it's like this girl who's like her heart's being tore apart.
Oh, I didn't even see that, because I'm just seeing from a distance.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. 3 of Swords, heart being torn apart. Okay, so let me interpret this numerologically. If you want it up, you know what? Even better. If you want to say anything, please speak whatever you want, because I always speak all the time.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So what I'm thinking numerologically, and I'm not a tarot expert. I've never studied tarot in my entire life. Nobody's ever taught me how to read tarot, but I'm a gypsy. I'm a Tsigani. So that's part of my birthright.
Yeah.
And numerologically, I would say 3 corresponds with animalistic reality of nature, not in a bad sense, but like in the sense of the realms of animals, the realms of totems, is like, so the 3 of hearts could be like loving someone in a true primordial, naturalistic, animalistic sense, but not necessarily in the best sense possible. If you look at a 3, it's like an uncompleted 8. So 8 represents shamanic reality. It's the balance of both realms. It's cell mitosis. It's the blossoming of the flower of life. It represents infinity. 3 is an uncompleted 8. So it's like you're stuck between 3 different levels. So it's like a half circle. There's 2 half circles and 3 points. The higher point is in the heavens. The middle point is on the earth. The under point is in the under realms or in the oceans. But at the end of the day, it's like you're stuck between instincts, emotions, and desires. So if you complete the 8 and you become shamanic in that completion, then you start having that mending of the heart that happens. You realize who you truly are, and you realize that shamanistic existence, we shapeshift into emotional states and physical states on a conscious basis, constantly, literally. So to me, that represents that the heart can be broken based on, in this society, in this realm, in this colonial existence that we're forced into, there's a lot of animalistic limitations to who we are as human beings. Human beings are meant to be at the crossroads of conscious choice, which is 4, 1 level above 3. Angelic is 5, 1 level above 4. 4 is like the crossroads of conscious humans evolving into 5. Infinity is 8. It's a doubled up human, two-spirit human, which is infinitely more evolved. So if you complete the 3, you have 8. It's a lot easier to go and trace an 8 from a 3 than it is to trace it from a 4. However, that being said, human is still closer to shamanic existence in some sense than animalistic prescience and intuition. But once you go past those instinctual desires, those instinctual emotions, and those forced realities that we live in the course of our natural nature, then you suddenly realize that you are who you're meant to be in the realization of your spiritual essence. So to me, the 3 of swords is like battling for your conscious awareness. It's battling to mend the heart back together. It's battling to actually find the true love in shamanic existence, which transcends the 7 heavens literally and goes into 8, which is shamanic infinity.
Dude, that was awesome. That was amazing.
Yo,
Yeah.
thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, mending the heart. The heart is so fragile. There's this like really big spider like in the corner of my room right now, and it's been there for a while. It's huge. It's like probably like this big.
That's a perfect correlation because spiders have 8 legs. They represent shamanism. They represent the shamanic transmutation of parasitic. We talked about psychic vampires. Spiders eat mostly mosquitoes and flies. They eat the beings that are poisoning and contaminating our lives, not of their own will, not because they wanted to do that, but because of the corruption of colonial society. They've become corrupted from colonial substances. And the spiders, they sit in the corners. They're sitting in between the forms of reality. There are these like shamanic beings that are transmuting, they're shamanistically transmuting all of the abuses that are happening to us on a microcosmic level by eating up the parasitic vampiric insects that are trying to prey upon us. And yet we often kill them out of unconsciousness, not realizing the favor that they're doing to us on a natural level.
Okay, I'm gonna pull another tarot card.
Yo, let's do it.
The 9 of Wands. It looks like kind of 9 of Wands is like
I love 9.
building a
9
fortress.
is a beautiful number.
Yeah.
9 is like the completion of the cycle. Like it's literally you need 9 months to be born on a healthy basis. Even if you're born earlier than that, it's even better. You're born ahead of time. But regardless, 9 is the completion of the cycle. You go from 0 to 9. It's a single digit completion of numerological cycles. So 9 of Wands is like the ultimate magic power. It's like the Ace of Wands is even more powerful, obviously, but it's the 1 at the same time. 9 is 9 times more powerful than the Ace, but the Ace is often looked at as the summit of everything because it includes the entire completion in that vibration. But 9 is above 8, but 8 is more complete than 9. So the 8 of Wands is more shamanic, it's more magical than the 9 of Wands, but the 9 of Wands is on a world messenger level. That's what 9 represents numerologically. It's like, so if you look at 4 as being the basis of human consciousness at a crossroads for conscious choice, and then you look at 5 as being angelic, 6 as being pagan or demonic on the opposite spectrum, 7 as being archangelic, you have 8 as being shamanic, then you have 9 as being the world messenger. You're at that level where you're reaching the entire planet with your magic. And you have 9 different ones. It's like having 9 different arrows to your bow. And you're aiming magically, psychically, etherically, supernaturally, astrally, astrophysically towards all the beings that are harming the sentiences on this planet, that are harming the Sangha, that are harming the planet Earth. And you're a world messenger for change and for conscious awareness and evolution. So that, to me, beautiful, beautiful card.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I feel we are reaching the limit of this podcast. So like, yeah, love is such a powerful force, like you can use love for so much. You can use it to really transform yourself and see yourself in a much higher light and want you to be a better organism to thrive in this world. Yeah.
I feel you on that, man. It's like love is the supreme force. Amora Suprema is
Amora
like literally
Suprema.
supreme love is what runs the entire cosmos. But we've been tricked into thinking that money rules the world. Cash rules everything around me, like Wu-Tang said it.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
around me.
I get it because I get the stark reality of colonialism. But at the end of the day, that's why I said cash doesn't rule anything around me at all, in all honesty, because everything I see is plastic cards and world bankers. It's not even about cash anymore. You can come in with a briefcase full of cash these days. Everybody's going to ask you where it came from. Cops might come and arrest you, ask you why you're carrying more than $10,000 cash. Cash doesn't rule things. What rules it is a centralized power that's corrupted through counterfeiting organizations and agencies that are brainwashing us all into slavery, making us believe that it's freedom. So thank you for saying that. Love is the supreme force of the cosmos. Love is priceless. Love is the goddess. Love is the oracles. Love is the future. Love is the youth. Love is tomorrow's. But the past has been stuck in patriarchy for so long, we forget what true love actually is.
Well, yeah, I bless the space. May we all be guided to finding our true will and that true love that exists within this space and within ourselves. So then we can share it with others, you know? Yeah.
Yes, likewise.
Yeah. I want to
mad respect. Like seriously, you have no idea. You manifested a dream of mine since a long time ago when we started this podcast. So I'm glad we're at season 2.
Let's go. Yeah.
Spaceless Realms, check it out. Sign up on the podcast. There's no catch, no anything. You know, check it out. Literally, like this shit might change your life. You never know.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we're just getting started. You know, we're just like fine tuning how we're gonna actually propel this into the future.
Yes, and just for the record, not a single one of our episodes was prepared. The subject was never discussed. Maybe 5 minutes before, if anything. And it's all freestyle. So this is real raw shit. Like you will not get this anywhere else. Most people sit around for 3 weeks trying to jumble up garbage and make it sound like it's coherent new age mumbo jumbo. But we don't do that shit. There's no sign up, no catch, no anything. Not even an email. You need to sign up on a fucking list. But please click on the button if you like this.
Yeah, and I want to say, yeah, just I'm happy you're back home, and I'm thankful you have the space to now exist in and manifest your dreams and desires, you know? So yeah, it's good you're back, man.
Likewise. Yo, for real, man. I can't wait till you drop by for a fucking visit, man. It's gonna be bomb.
It will. Okay. Peace out.
Peace.